welcome back to another episode of Cars and Craftsmen. Today I'm going to be making a super simple crosscut sled for my new circular saw that I got. I'm not going to go too much into detail for it because I know that there's a lot of videos on this already, so I'm just going to get started. You guys can kind of follow along. I'll add some tips in there, here and there throughout the process, but let's get started. So first of all, I got the new rigid battery powered circular saw, so I'm pretty excited about this. I might do a review on it in the future here. So let's go ahead and get started making the crosscut sled for it. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut the length down on this sheet of 1/2 inch plywood. So most people would cut it to be 4 foot so that they could do cross cuts on sheets of plywood and things like that. I'm going to go a little bit longer, 54 inches. That way I'll have a little tail on both sides so that the saw doesn't tend to skew at the end when you go to make the final cuts. I saw this on another YouTube video. I don't know if it was Jay Bates or the Wood Whisperer. I forget who it was that did that, but I thought it was a good idea. So we'll make a mark at 54 inches here, and up here. Go ahead and draw a line. I'll move this back 5 inches, which is the length of my blade to the side of my fence here, just so that we can get a straight cut. We'll go ahead and clamp that down and then cut the length off. Alright, so now that I got the length cut, we have a total width of like 13.5 inches. So I think I'm going to rip off 3 inches on the table saw, which will be the upper part of the fence, and then the remainder will be the lower part, and we will make it cut with the circular saw at the very end so that it'll be 0 clearance. So let's go ahead and set the fence to 3 inches to rip off that top part of the fence here. Alright, let's make it cut. Alright, so the next thing we're going to want to do is take this upper portion of fence here, and I'm going to put it in 1.5 inches from the edge. That way we will have an area over here that we can put our clamps on, whatever we're clamping to, whether it be an interior door or a sheet of plywood. Put the clamp on this part here, keep it out of this area, because the motor for the circular saw is going to ride on here. A lot of times if you put a clamp here, the motor will hit it, and then that way it'll stop the saw, so we don't want that. So if we leave this little area for the clamp, the motor can ride on here, the fence will ride against here, and then we'll have a nice straight cut. So we're going to leave 1.5 inches here. Measure that on both sides. And just double check it. Good. Now I'm going to put pencil lines. reason for the pencil lines is so that way I know where to put my glue. We're going to put some glue down here, throw some brad nails in it, and then we'll let the glue set up, and then we'll run the circular saw down here to make the zero clearance fence that we want. So let's go ahead and put some glue on it. That's that. Now all we have to do is let this set up overnight. We'll come back tomorrow, take our circular saw here, run it down, get the straight cut on the end. Then we will have a zero clearance fence. That way when we need to make a cut on the door, a sheet of plywood, we can line the edge right up with the edge, and we'll know that we're dead on with our cuts. Alright guys, it's the next day here, so we're going to go ahead and take our circular saw, make this final cut down the edge here, which will give us our zero clearance, and the fence will be all done. Let's go ahead and make that cut. Alright, so as you can see, now we can use this. We'll line the edge of our guide here, right on the line of what we need to cut. Then when we run our saw down, it'll ride against our fence here, and we'll have a perfectly straight cut, because we know that this is straight. We ran it on the table saw, and we don't have to do any math to try and figure out where we need to put our guides to get exactly where the blade is going to be cutting. So we are good to go. Alright guys, thanks for watching another episode of Cars and Craftsmen. I hope you learned something from this crosscut sled that we made for the circular saw. I think the next video that we're going to be making is going to be a battery storage solution. I hung all of my chargers here on the side of this cabinet, so I'm thinking I'm going to build a little station here to put all the batteries once they're charged. That way they don't have to sit on the docks the whole time. So I think that's going to be a good little video that we're going to make. And that should be coming in the next probably week or so here. So stay tuned for that. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Also, I would appreciate if you would subscribe. That way I can keep this channel going. And let me know if there's anything you would like to see me build or any tools you would like to see me review. And we can definitely do that in the future. Thanks for watching.